Welcome to Christian Nutrition on TV, the show where we try to attempt to review every single episode of VeggieTales on TV, but we don't really have every episode, so we try to do it in a chronological order, but no promises. And by we, I mean just me. Welcome back to VeggieTales on TV, and this week we review King George and the Ducky on TV. However, I must point out the omission of the Englishman who went up the hill and came back down with all the bananas. That segment's not here, which is a bit of a disappointment, but that's probably so they could fit it within the 22 minutes. With that in mind, let's get started.
Do you ever take that thing off? Never. I love it. Yeesh.
Well, you always ask about it, and you did call dibs on it in a previous episode, so don't act like Archibald's the only one who loves that sweater, Paw Grape. You do too.
I get it.
Mail, mail, here is your mail. It's here in my bag, not in bucket or pail.
Who thinks the mail comes in buckets or pails? That confuses me.
For I am the man who delivers your mail.
Hi, Jimmy. How about that letter?
Yeah, just hand Larry the mail, you psycho.
I'll just stick it through the mail slot.
You don't have to do that. You can just hand it to...
Not a problem. Enjoy your mail.
Just get out of here.
I'm sorry, what?
Alex needs to hear about Leonard the Walrus.
Oh, hi, Paco. I think we can probably handle...
Who's Paco? I thought that was Mr. Lunt. And who is Leonard the Walrus?
There was a walrus named Leonard. I will show him to you. Leonard lived by the North Pole.
Did Leonard drink Coca-Cola and wear sunglasses? No, wait, that was polar bears. My apologies.
One day, his mother sent him to school with a bag of clams. That's what they eat, clams. She said, there's plenty for everyone, so share your clams.
No way, when you bring excess lunch to school, you trade it for other goods. You don't just give it away. I've been to the school cafeteria, I know.
When he got to school, his friend Penguin saw his clams.
Technically, penguins only live in the southern hemisphere. There would be no penguins in his school.
Thanks, Bob. You're a huge help. I mean, I had no idea where penguins lived, and I'm sure you didn't just ruin Mr. Lunt's story.
When he got to school, his friend Parrot saw his clams.
Parrots live in the tropics, where it's hot, not the North Pole.
Seriously, Bob, you really are ruining his story.
When he got to school, his friend Lamp saw his clams. Do they have lamps at the North Pole?
I guess that's okay.
Oh, now it's okay, because a lamp can go to the North Pole. I mean, that's fine. I mean, physically it can go to the North Pole, but also physically a penguin could, and maybe even that parrot they talked about earlier. And if the lamp goes up there, there's no electricity for it to even be useful, and wouldn't it just freeze and then break really easily because it's cold, and the lamp's probably cheaply made in China?
So the lamp saw the clams, and he was hungry. Wait a minute. Lamps don't eat clams. You've ruined my story. Oh, great, the North Pole.
You ruined his story and made him ruin the North Pole. Thanks. Just get out of here, Bob.
I was trying to teach Alex a valuable lesson, but no, Mr. Scientific Accuracy went and ruined it for me. The penguin don't live in the north. The parrot live in the hot.
I feel your pain, Mr. Lunt. I really do. And you know what? I'm going to start a GoFundMe for you because you need the money to recover from that.
We don't want to teach kids the wrong facts. Penguins get no further north than the Galapagos Islands. Well, what do we do now?
Step one would be to stop ruining other people's stories when they're just trying to help you. Bob then starts narrating our main story, the reason we're here. He tells us how Larry is King George and he spends a lot of time in the bathtub. Like an uncomfortable amount of time. It's kind of weird. With his rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun.
He is so obsessed with his rubber ducky that he actually ignores his royal duties despite the fact that his kingdom is currently in the midst of an epic pie war. He even spends time singing about his inanimate object instead of doing his job.
Because I love my duck.
Sir, if I could have a minute.
Love my duck.
There are some things we must discuss.
I love my duck.
Oh boy, we're really out of luck.
Because I love my... Hey, what's that?
Oh boy, I know what's going on. The war has finally come to Larry's kingdom and he has to face this problem head on. Or maybe once again, I was way off point. That's not the first time, nor will it be the last.
Because I love my You're always there to make me smile.
Ah, yes, well, I know what I would do if I was Larry. I would take Junior's rub-ear ducky, send him to war to die, and not feel bad about it at all. But that's just wishful thinking on my part.
It's beautiful. I want it. I must have it. I must get it. You must go and get it for me.
You already have quite a few duckies.
Those are yesterday's duckies.
Pie War has grown ferocious. We need more men at the front.
I believe Thomas would like to help. And one more thing, Cedric. Put Thomas at the front of the battle. Then have everyone else step back.
No way. This is truly a miracle. They're actually going to kill off Junior. It's like Christmas has come late or extremely early. Larry may make for a useless superhero, but he makes for an amazing king. Re-elect Larry for king. King for life.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
Perfect timing. I'm on an emotional high right now. Junior will soon be dead, and Larry is singing a silly song.
Manatee, you are the one for me.
You're a nice manatee, you've been so good to me. But I must go into the world and do noble things for the good of all. And you can't come because you don't speak French.
Oh, that was beautiful. I have no words.
Barbara Manatee, you are the one.
Larry, what are you doing?
Awkward. Let's just skip ahead and avoid all of this. We then see King Larry don a ridiculous disguise and sneak over to Junior's house and steal his rubber ducky. Larry then puts the ducky on a pedestal and loves it. Bob points out that it is no different than Larry's other duckies. Like at all. But Larry is having none of that negative talk.
It looks just like your other duckies.
What? Hold your tongue, infidel!
But then we experience the biggest plot twist since Han dying in The Force Awakens. Oh, spoiler alert.
Thomas!
How did he survive? I can't even right now. Nor can I odd.
This little fellow single-handedly stopped the advancing horde.
He must have been using cheat codes.
Thomas,
Incoming! Boysenberry at 3 o'clock!
Junior has PTSD. I can live with that, actually.
Now finally I can take that bath.
Are you the only one you think about?
No, I've been thinking about this ducky for quite some time now.
Best king ever. Pa Grape then shows up to teach Larry a lesson via a flannel graph. Yes, a flannel graph. He teaches that Larry being selfish and stealing Junior's ducky was wrong. It is not what God wants of us. He tells Larry to ask for forgiveness and to make it right, which of course Larry does, and Junior has no issue accepting his apology immediately. This is utterly ridiculous. Larry just sent you to the front lines by yourself to die. Like, he wasn't expecting you to live. And yet you forgive him immediately. I am so confused. You don't have any hard feelings? Why is Junior so nice? He's making it hard not to like him anymore.
That was a great story, Larry.
Thanks.
You see, Alex, being greedy hurts the people around us. If you share the blocks, you can all build something huge together.
Can we do an episode on not ruining other people's stories? That'd be great.
I'm sorry I ruined your story.
That's okay. I went out and got some fried clams. Do you want one?
I am allergic to shellfish.
Allergic to shellfish? You're a tomato. How is that even possible?
Well, thanks for coming over to my house, kids.
See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, these clams are pretty good.
Yeah, you'd never guess they were in the trunk of my car for a week.
Wow, Mr. Lunt, that's disgusting.
Is it getting hot in here?
That's just the Cajun spice kicking in.
I feel my throat tightening.
You're a tomato. You breathe through your leaves, technically speaking.
Nice one, Mr. Lunt, dropping some technical talk on Bob. That was King George and the Ducky on TV, and I must say those before and after segments were a solid entry. I mean, this is some of the better stuff that they made. Stay tuned as next week we review another favorite of mine, Lyle and the Kindly Viking, on TV. So remember, God made you special, and he loves you very much. Bye.